Welcome back, everybody, to Unconditional Surrender, game designed by Salvatore Vasta, published by GMT Games. This is the German Diplomatic Disaster Series. We're getting ready to go into July of 1943. So we'll just get into it. The Germans have to try and do some repair work in Russia. And, okay, there's not going to be any declarations of war. So, not turn track, national track. So we're going to move over to the production side of it. Oh, this was me doing this. I was putting in my allies and the allies for the West and everything to make sure that that was accurate for late game here. Economy phase. The Axis is really hurting here. I'm at 24. British are at 32. The Russians are at 44. Because they have 10 factories minus 1 is 9. And then they have another 9 is 18. And then 4 more, which is 22. So he is at 44 production points. And I wasn't really paying attention to that, but if I had, I might have done this turn differently. But you'll see. So we get to strategic warfare. The Allies don't have anything to play, and neither do I, so it's just going to be die rolls. So it's plus 0 to 2. Roll to 5, so hey, not bad. You roll to 4 plus 2 is a 6, so they don't lose 1, but I get 1 back. Yay! And then we go over to the West, where he's got 2 bomb markers, so it's 0 to plus 4. I rolled a 5 again. Yay! You rolled a 3 plus 4 is a 7, and a 5 to a 7 is just barely a diamond. So I got another 1 back. So the 2 he took away from me last turn, I got back this turn. Yay! It doesn't help me this turn because I still only have 24 production points. Strategic movement. And I had to think long and hard about this one. And I wasn't quite sure which one to put out there. But I chose to take the strategic move marker, take it off of him, put it on the first, and then the first is going to move way over here into the east, not into the ocean. I was trying to figure out what hex I wanted to put him in. Thought about that one, and ended up deciding that that was probably the best hex. The West, I don't think they had one. And Soviets, what was that D3 for? Oh, we were having some sync problems, so we were trying to see if we could see some die rolls, I think. That was us just trying to make sure we could see each other's die rolls and stuff, which worked. So, strategic movement phase for the Russians. Oh, he had one. I think he asked me if he could move, like, how far he could move. It's like, yeah, you can move all the way to there. That's legal. But in the end, I think he decided not to bother. I was checking airplane ranges here for what I was going to try and do in my operations phase. So I move myself down, and the garrison comes running 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 down the rail line, and ends himself in the mountains outside of Riga, just trying to slow down the Russians. Give me a chance to get some people back. Then, having looked at where his airplanes can go, I decided, I was looking in the south too, so I was going to attack with the 7th. He attacks the guards unit. So right now I'm +2 to his +1. And I think we have to go to combat commitment. He chooses not to. I do. I go ahead and throw the airplane to the south in. So now I'm +4 to +1. And I got a 6. +4 is a 10. And he got a 7, which is enough to retreat. So, by the way, if you look at the combat results table, it's pretty much guaranteed that if you're at +3 on a die roll modifier, if you both roll the same number, if your difference is 3, you will get a retreat on the defender. So, just a little math thing that I figured out not too long ago. Thought I'd share that. So I'll go ahead and take the hex, because now that means this infantry here, this guy, he'll be able to escape no matter what. So now I'm just trying to let this guy get into a better position to escape by forcing him to retreat some more. So that was 2 to attack, and then I went ahead and attacked this infantry, because he would have to retreat back because of where all my zones of control are. That's why it was important to move the garrison first. Also, the reason why this guy strategically moved here is so that the guards couldn't retreat towards Germany. So I'm +2 to his 0. Again, combat commitment because he can throw tanks in. And neither one of us committed this time. So, +2 to 0. I got another 6, so I'm getting my 6s. He rolled a 3, so he's retreated. But 6 + 2 is an 8. 3 is a flip, so he's flipped and retreated. I had to attack the guards unit to make. If I can get him to retreat once more, then I'm good. Did we go to combat commitment here? Yes, we did. He did not. I did. So he's saving all his assets for his counterattack. I had to throw in the airplane to the north, I believe. So I rolled a 5 and he rolled a 2, which forced him to retreat. Then I moved there or there. I couldn't make up my mind, and I ended up going. I don't know what that was. Movement range on something? I'm not sure what I was doing there. And I ended up going there, which is the wrong thing to do. Which you'll see in a minute. I really should have just said, screw this, and run for the hills with him. With my 2 movement points, either moved over to this side of the river or to where that airplane is, and just said the heck with this. But I didn't. So instead I attacked with this infantry unit up here. Let's zoom in a bit. So I'm attacking with this infantry unit, and I'm in the teeth of his aircraft. So I'm really not expecting, that's why I'm using these aircraft. I flew up an aircraft from the south so that I have 3 sorties basically to try and have this guy do something interesting. So what I did is I attacked the guards unit. We're in combat commitment. We both committed. So I threw in an airplane. I think he throws in a tank. So that we're +3 to +3. And I rolled a 4 + 3 is a 7. He rolled a 3 + 3 is a 6. I said, well, that's not going to work. I'm not going to go that way anymore. I'll attack the shock army, trying to get him to use up some of his airplanes. So it's +2 to +2. I went ahead and committed. He did not. So then I became +4 to +2. I rolled a 3 + 4 is a 7. He rolled a 6 + 2 is an 8. So I went down for my last attack. Same thing. I figured my airplanes were going to get counter-aired by his anyway, so I might as well just use them in a big attack here and see if I can inflict some damage. Again, flipping a shock army makes it less effective, so that's my goal here. This guy is not going to get away, so When I didn't push the guards army, it's like, I'm not getting away, so let's not even pretend that I'm going to. I'm just trying to flip shock armies to, you know, make them less effective on his half of the turn. So I'm up to +4, to +2. I rolled a 7 again. He rolled a 5 + 2 is a 7. So couldn't roll good enough on those attacks. So he's done. Then what did I do? Oh, now I'm backing up the panzers. And this is a glaring error on my part. But I moved the panzers to there. Trying to see how far. Oh, this panzer had to go. I moved him back so I could count right. 1. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Trying to get up to the north so I can try and help backstop the breakthrough, which is going to come, I'm sure. Then I said, okay, time to retreat. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. The Romanians. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And this infantry unit moves to there, and this infantry moves into Odessa. And that's probably wrong. What I probably should have done is had that infantry that I stopped on the airplane, should have moved all the way back. These infantry units should have moved back so that I was outside of his range of his air, and the armor should have moved back an extra space. So just to show you what I really should have done is probably just done this, and this, and this, and had these guys here and here for a reserve. That's what I should have done. It's not what I did. And then in the north, the guy that was in the swamp here, put it back there. He starts moving. He goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So garrison to slow him down, and then he's got to cross the river, and hopefully this guy will be retreated across the river, and we'll at least slow him down before bad things happen to us. And by the way, if I had done what I was talking about in the south, I would have had to also move. This garrison unit probably would have gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, just sat in Kiev. And then the infantry here would have fallen back on the swamp hexes and the forest and stuff. Just to have a few hexes and be outside of range of some of his air. Which, right now I'm in range of all of his air. Which is not a healthy thing to do. So now we go over to the west. I was done in the east. We have fair weather here since it's July. So I'm activating the 9th. Obviously I'm going after the 5th. He starts off at 3. I start off at 3 as well. 2 for German, 2 for isolated, -1 for the city. So we're both at +3. Again, here's a no-brainer for you. Yes, we're committing. I throw in... we have to go to the air combat because I'm -2 to his... 0. I rolled a 5, -2 is a 3. But he wouldn't be nice and roll a 1 for me. He rolled a 4. So we'll each take 1 sortie. And we're both in the combat, so I'm up to +5. And he's up to +5. And here we go. Oh, I set my movement points to 5. 5 + 5 is a 10. Yay, not bad. And he rolled just low enough. 2. I needed him to roll a 1 or a 2, and he did. So 10 to a 7 is a DR. Just barely. So down he goes. Gets flipped. And then... So right now it's +3 to +1. We go to combat commitment. And it was like, yeah, we both know we're playing. It didn't matter on the die roll because he couldn't get more than 1 sortie on me, and that -3. So I rolled a 2, plus 5 is a 7. He's plus 3, he rolled a 1. So I got lucky and eliminated him. American willpower is going to go down by 1. And then the fleets can go wherever they want. So he sends the 4th fleet all the way down here to Naples. Takes a sortie. And he takes the British convoy and puts it in Liverpool. Takes the sortie. And I take the hex. So now next turn I'll get my +2 in my strategic warfare. Yay. And then I move out because I had 2 movement points left. So I really don't want to be sitting in there. He doesn't have any more invasion markers, so I can be further back to try and do something in Germany. And I'm not sure what I did. Oh, I was showing him I should have had everybody just running away. And just going to move the garrison in, decided not to. And then I was done. Yep. I think I'm done here. I'm not sure what I'm doing. Oh, doing supply. So he went into low supply. Okay. And then we go into Western Ops. And there he goes activating his aircraft rather than just flying it up there. Takes a sortie so that he's close. Drops the airdrop marker on the Gothic line. Attacks with the 8th Army. Throws an airplane from the south. So he is 1 for British, 2 for armor, 2 for airplane. So he starts at 5. -1 for the ridge, -1 for the poor weather. So he's +3 to my +2. Because I'm +2 for German, +2 for armor, -2 for the airdrop. +3 to +2, and that cost him 4 movement points to do that. So he's only going to get 2 attacks. He rolls a 4 + 3 is a 7. I roll 6 + 2 is an 8. And so he does it again. 3 + 3 is a 6. 3 + 2 is a 5. So I've held off the first wave. Attacks with, what's this? 1st Canadian. 2 + 3 is a 5. And I rolled a 1. Of all the times to roll a 1. So I'm retreated. And he gets to move in. He has 6 movement points left. So he I think he attacked the 3rd Panzer. Yes. I'm not sure. Anyway, he rolls a 1 with his +4 because he's 3 and an airplane is 5 -1 because there's no river or ridge there. And I rolled a 7, so I held him off. And a 5 to a 7 is a diamond. And he went again, and he rolled a 1 again. So he finally rolled a couple of 1s. It's about time. And then I rolled an 8, so that stopped him. And then the BEF attacks over using tanks, and he'll end up at that +3 to +4. Gets the best die roll he can, a 9. I rolled a 5, so I flipped. So now he attacks again at +3 to +1. +3 to +2, rather. Rolls a 6, +3 is a 9. Again, his best die roll. So 2 1s previously. And now he rolls 2 6s. And fortunately, I managed to roll a 6 too, so I stopped him from eliminating the 3rd Panzer. So I'm still there, but not very well. And this is us taking off his production points because he depends on me to do that. And then he comes in and starts dropping bombed markers here, I think. Yeah, we just set 4 bombed markers because I had nothing to intercept him, so it's like, yeah, he's got 4. So he'll be +6 next turn. And I think we're doing supply here. I think he left that guy in low supply. No, he went ahead and brought him all back up. And now he has to roll for his airdrop, and he rolls a 1. So it'll be right back to assault me next turn. I wish I could always get 1s on my airdrop markers. I'm lucky if I get 2 uses out of them. This game, I think, I only got 1. Died in Paris. So, then we go over to the Soviets. And this guy goes 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 5, 6. Called an assault. Then he moves his tank army. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 4, 5 to attack. Right now it's +3 to +2. I decided I needed to throw the tank right here. Oh no, I didn't have anything to play, did I? Yes, I did. He decided he didn't want to do that. Move that infantry up first. Called an assault. Then he moved the army in. Then we went to combat commitment. I did not. He did. He threw in an airplane, I think. So he's now +5 to my +2. He gets an 11. And thank God I rolled a 6 so I wasn't flipped. And I retreated, so he moves there. And now he attacks again. Right now it's +3 to +2. I think we go to combat commitment again. Yep, same thing as before. He uses up his airplane. Oh, no, he chose not to. That's not what he... Did he? Oh, yeah. He chose not to, so he took it at +3 to +2. It was a 9 to a 7. We go to the next thing. He chooses not to, so it's 3 + 3 is a 6, 3 + 2 is a 5. So I held for a turn. In retrospect, I would have rather been retreated at this point, but it didn't work out that way. So now the shock army goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6 to attack, and he's attacking in isolation, so he's +4 to my +2. 1, 2, 3, 4. He actually should have only had 2 movement points left. I miscounted that. Well. We're going into combat commitment, but I didn't. He didn't either. 1 + 4 was a 5, and I rolled a 4, so I held on for a turn. And he has 1 more attack. He rolls a 2 + 4 is a 6, and I roll 1 + 2 is a 3, so I flipped. And now he moves. Oh, he has the assault guy attack me at +2 to 0. Rolls a 6 + 2 is an 8. I roll a 5, not good enough, so I'm gone. He thinks about it and goes ahead, yeah, I'm going to take the hex. And I had to see how far I could fly, so I flew back there. And again, he has problems figuring out what to activate first and where to attack first. So he keeps starting different things. There we go. So it's 1 to 2. I decided the tank needed to be used right now to try and stop this, because I figured he was going to try and put a bunch of stuff in there. He had just thrown in an airplane. Oh, he just threw in tanks and an airplane. So it's +4 to +5. +5 to +4, rather. You roll the 3 plus 5 is an 8. Roll the 6 plus 4 is a 10. So held for the turn, but now I won't be able to hold again. He throws in another airplane, so he's +5 to my +3 to my +2. 2 plus 3 is a 5. 5 plus 2 is a 7, so I'm holding on so far. Attacks again, uses up another airplane. 6 plus 3 is a 9. 1 plus 3, 2 is a 3, so now I'm flip and retreated. He moves up, and he has enough movement points to attack one more time. I'm at 0, and he starts off at 0. He threw an airplane in, so he's at +2 to 0. He rolled a 4 plus 2 is a 6. I rolled a 6, so I held the forest for a turn. But this sets me up for, by getting that retreat, you will see that he's going to, Sal calls it unzipping the line, I just call it turning the line. So Russians, take heart. You can do this. 1, 2, 3. He's throwing in an airplane from the south. He's attacking my infantry. He gets a 6 plus 4 is a 10. I roll a 4 plus 2 is a 6. I can't retreat, so I'm isolated, actually. Sorry, he didn't have to use an airplane. I'm isolated by that move. So he gets me flipped, puts me down to 0. He attacks again, +4. Rolls a 3 plus 4, 2, and I'm eliminated. He chooses not to take the hex and attacks the Nor at this point. At +1 to 0. He rolls a 3. I roll a 2, so I'm holding. Then he goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 against the first garrison, who's isolated. So he's +1 to my 0. Uh, 3 plus 1 is a 4. I rolled 5, so I held on for a turn. This infantry unit attacks the garrison unit. He's +2 for me being isolated, but -1 for the river and -1 for the swamp. So he's 0 to 0. Rolls a 4. I roll a 1. So I'm eliminated. Takes the hex. And then since he had 4 movement points left, he moves to there. And then this guard's army goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So he has 1 attack at 0 to 0. Oh no, he's +1 because I'm isolated. So he gets down to +2 because it's -1 +2 for isolation. He rolls a 5 plus 2 is a 7. I roll a 3, so I'm eliminated. He chooses to take the hex and then move there. Airplane flies back to Danzig, I think. Oh no, I threw it back in Warsaw. Sorry. This infantry, what's he doing next? Oh, this guards unit goes 1, 2, 3, and then attacks at, should be +2 to +2. So it's 1, 2, 3. So he goes at 7, then he attacks, so he's down to 4. He's 1 for guards, -1, and he should have been +2 for isolation. So it's 2 for isolation. Throws in an airplane. So he's up to +4. Rolls a 3 + 4 is a 7. I rolled a 7. Attacks again. Throws in a tanks this time, as well as an aircraft. So, not sure where that aircraft came from. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, -1 + 4. Must have thrown in an aircraft again. I don't see him going up a sortie. So he got an 11 to my 6, so I'm flipped. He moved down. He got an extra sortie out of that. That first air should have been down a sortie. Before he moved, you go ahead and attack with this guy. He's at 0, and I'm at 0. It's +0 to +0. Rolls a 3, I roll a 4, does it again, he rolls a 5, and I roll a 3, so I'm eliminated. Takes Kiev, and then he flies this airplane up so it's within range. Goes 1, 2, 3. Calls an assault. And then takes this tank army 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he's had 3 movement points left, and he's now at +5 to. Oh no, I'm not isolated. I'm +3. He rolls a 6 +3. It's a 9. I roll a 3, which is a DD. So I'm eliminated. He could move forward, but he chooses not to. I think he just tries to attack the armored unit. No, he doesn't even do that. Where's this guy go? Oh, yeah, he moves up north. Kind of fell off the map there. So he starts there and he goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and attacks the infantry. Oh no, he calls an assault on the infantry, just in case. Then he attacks up here at +2 to +4 to +0. And he gets a 6 + 4 is a 10. I rolled a 4. So that's 10 to a 4. Dagnabbit. 10 to a 4, for those of you who don't know, is a DD. So that guy's just gone. So it was 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6. It's +4 to +2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he rolls a 1 + 4 is a 5. I roll a 2 + 2 is a 4. And then he attacks again. He gets a 1 + 4 is a 5. I get a 4 + 2 is a 6. So I'm holding him off for now. Is this shock army attack at +4 to +2? Gets a 7. I get a 6. He rolls a 2 + 4 is 6 to my 4. Finally gets me flipped. And then it takes his last attack, or his next attack. Gets an 8 to my 2, so eliminated. Takes the hex. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Decides, no, I don't want to go there. I'm going to go 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. Can't make up his mind. I think we did an undo a couple times because we were kind of count. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And he calls for an assault. I go fly back to Danzig. And then he brings Shock Army, goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6 attacks. So it's +4 to +2. He rolled a 2 + 4. I rolled a 6 + 2. He rolled a 1 + 4 and a 6 + 2. So a couple of sixes there. Have him held on for a little while. Now he starts to think about bringing this guy down. He says, wait a minute, before I do this, you see him back this up here. Okay. He decides to go ahead and do the assault. So he's +3 minus, he throws in heavy artillery. So he's +1 for elite, being, a guards unit. +2 for isolation, that's 3. 4, 5, minus 1. So he's +4 to my +2. And he rolls a 7. I roll a 5. So I'm holding on. His artillery's coming back in 6 turns. And then this guy goes 1, 2, 3. Goes 4, 5 into the infantry unit. He's +3 to my +2. Rolls a 7. I roll a 3, so I'm flipped. Now I'm at 0. He goes again. +3 to 0. Gets a 7 to my 4, which is enough to kill him. He chooses not to take the hex since he has 3 movement points left. He goes ahead and attacks the 8th garrison. At +1 to 0, basically 0 to 0 because I'm in the mountain. And he rolls a 4, and I rolled a 1, so I'm retreated. He's like, yeah, I like that situation much better. Right now, he's down to 17 production points. And if it had been me, I think I would have. Because he has on his card here 2 armored units to build and aircraft to bring up 2. So he's trying to think of what he needs to do. If he wants to run up more guys up to my line or just and he just said, I'm done. I'm done with this. So we went through the no supply phase, and now this is where I started taking off airplanes. Over in the west, I wanted to take off this airplane that was out here in France so I could rebuild it back in Germany someplace. And then I had a question about, I can't do that because of Western, but I have a guy in Danzig, so I could do it. And then the other airplane I took off, I'm not sure what I took off. Did I take off another one? Took off another one somewhere. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not sure where I took off the other one from. 32, 11. Let's back up. Oh, this airplane up here, because he had surrounded it, he made sure he went around it instead of through it. So this guy's no good to me. So that's why I took him off. And then I took off the one in France, too. Okay. Replacements for the Axis. Now, I don't have a ton of points left. I took off my points already. Yeah, I think the only thing I had for replacements was this armored unit. I'm trying to figure out why I don't have... Yes, I was down to 9, and then I did 2 in Germany. And I left myself with 3, so I did 2 in Germany, and I think I did the 1 in Warsaw. And that's because I have 3 dead infantry, German infantry, to build. Now just to take a look at the card, people. 4, 8. 8 infantry, a garrison. The airplanes were at full sortie, so you didn't really kill those. I chose to kill those. But he took me down 8 infantry this turn, 2 last turn. He's knocked me down 5 will point, or 10 will points in 2 turns. So I am down to 47 will. I'm only 2 points ahead of my starting willpower, and it's only middle of 1943. So I don't see the Germans actually being able to hang on very much here. I'm going to play it out because I want to give him a chance to understand how the power of the West and the East works, and I just want to see how long I can last. You know, can I make him go into? Can I last through the summer of '44? I think I would be doing really great if I did that, but I don't know that I would be able to. So we're just going to see how it goes. Where are we at? So we're in Russian. That was Axis replacements. West replacements. This is kind of straightforward. Fix my convoys. Americans get back all their points. Fixes his airplanes. Brings down the bombers. All the American stuff. And Soviets brought down their airplanes. And they still should have 2 left for when we get to production, and they're going to build their Guards Tank Army. So, Germans chose to spend their 3 to build their 3 infantry. Oh, he's over here building things before it's his turn, which annoyed me. So I built 1 unit in Königsberg, 1 unit in Danzig, 1 unit in Posen, because that's where I don't have a line. And I have to have something to try and slow him down. Mobilization phase for the West. He'd already done that. We go to the Soviets, and he spends his 2 and brings on his Guards Tank Army and places it in Veloviki. No diplomacy. We go to victory check. End of turn phase. Again, this is a whole bunch of stuff for him. The Germans get. I get my tanks marker. I get economic reform, so that's going to move out to December. What else did I get? Oh, I got a garrison unit to build. That moved out to December, and my number of factories goes up to 4. So I'm matching the Russian Lend-Lease anyway. So that means next turn I will have 15 minus 4 is 11, plus 4 is 15. So I'll actually have 30 production points next turn, which is about as high as I think it's ever going to get for the Germans, just the way things are going. But I'm going to need it because I'm going to have to rebuild like my entire army. And then this is just the Allies getting their stuff. Here's his airdrop marker with this silly 1. British stuff, Russian stuff, surprise attack markers, both of them that he used much earlier in the, like 4 turns ago. And he gets back another heavy artillery, and then an upgrade guy. He's been doing very good with his upgrades, as far as placing them just perfectly. And we go into the weather phase, which we know what the weather phase is going to be, and that's it. We're done. So there was some question on whether I should be removing the airplane in France, but this airplane in Danzig does fulfill my west and east home defense requirements because the USA is in the war. So anything inside metropolitan Germany, which the Polish corridor now is, anything that's inside German home country counts as both sides. So I'm okay there, as far as I can tell. All right. So there you have it. A spectacular Russian success. He didn't have, it wasn't like he rolled 6-1 splits on every attack and just annihilated me. He had to make lots of attacks. This guy out here on this river and the guy in front of Velaluki here, down here, the Nor infantry required him to use 3 units to kill it. It required 3 units to kill the guy across the river, required 2 or 3 units to take out the guy that was up here. I mean, he hadn't used a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 guys attacking at least once, and probably several of them was attacking twice or even 3 times. So if you add that up, you're talking about he rolled the dice maybe 20 sometimes. 20, 17, probably closer to 30 times he had to roll the dice. And in 30 sets of dice rolls, you're going to get some splits. And he didn't need that many. He didn't need a big split in a lot of these cases because he would be +4 to +1 or 0 or +4 to +2. So all he needs is a 1 or 2 point split. I'm surrounded, so I get flipped, and then it's even a better die roll the next time. So Russian players, take heart. This will happen to the Germans at some point, usually, where you'll make this breakthrough, either here or in the West or something. You'll break the line. The real question is for me, is how to defend this, and I pretty much know how I'm going to do it. I'm not going to give it away in the video. You're going to have to wait for the next episode. So, there you have it. That was July of 1943. Massive German or Russian breakthrough. The British have broken through the Gothic line. So we'll have to see how long the Germans can hold out. Keep going until he actually conquers me. It's good exercise for him. This is his first game. He's had some very lucky breaks diplomatic-wise. In getting Italy in the war in 3 turns, which statistically is kind of hard to do, but he managed to pull it off. Anyway, I'm Dren608. If you like my videos, please subscribe. Hit that like button so the algorithms for YouTube will keep this thing up for everybody else to find. And we will be back with the next session in a little while. It'll take a bit before we play again. Until then, stay safe and bye-bye.